Hello and welcome to another Daily Digest video. I am Merriam and today I'm playing with some sweet creature lands because I really like creature lands. Everybody gets really tempted in Modern to play a bunch of colors because the fetch lands and shock lands enable that so well, but when you play two colors, you get to play a bunch of Mutavaults, a bunch of Creeping Tar Pits in your Delver decks, and Fatal Push is such a good one-mana removal spell that who needs a third color, right? So we're going to try out a little Blue-Black Delver. And I am on the play. That's good. My hand is a little awkward. The Mutavault I just praised is awkward because I want a double spell, but I think it's still fine. We're going to get pretty close to casting a Tasigur early. If we just draw another Black Source, our hand's great. So I will keep. This deck is a lot more land heavy than most Delver decks because the creature lands give you flood insurance as well. So I'm not concerned about missing my land all the time. Opponent mulligan to 6, also great. Surprise at the top, less great. And get a water grave here. Start off with the classic turn 1 Inquisition. What you got? Got a lot of stuff. So our opponent appears to be. They could be just a normal Jund deck. They could be Death Shadowing. Blooming Marsh makes me think they're not Death Shadowing. How close? If I take Tarmogoyf, they're trivial. It's trivial for them to get Delirium for Traverse. I do kind of want them to Inquisition me because I'm going to have not a lot of time to play my discard spells and removal spells. And it accelerates me to Tasigur, which their Fatal Push doesn't deal with. I kind of like the idea of taking the Traverse and then playing discard spell next turn, taking the Tarmogoyf. I assume their Inquisition will take my push, and then they'll have Fatal Push X against my discard spell Tasigur X. Yeah, I'm going to take the Traverse. It's just the scariest card, too. If I have to end up taking another creature with one of these discard spells, I'd rather lead them with a Goyf than whatever they can Traverse for. Traverse could be anything. Could even be a boat. I'd be very surprised if they took anything but Fatal Push here, but you never know. Well, they took Inquisition, so color me surprised. Why don't we start off with a Thoughtseize? Drawing a fetch land there would have been great. If we could Thoughtseize into Tasigur. Well, now I just get to take your Courser and then Fatal Push your Tarmogoyf and then untap and play Tasigur. So, sure, that's what I'll do. Seems great for me. I'm just going to wait for another discard spell, but that's also fine. Now I get to play a Tasigur. Question is how I want to play it. I could delve everything away. That makes the Murderous Cut difficult to cast. Makes my Snapcasters awkward. I think I want to leave an Inquisition, but I do want to get rid of the land because of my opponent's Tarmogoyf. Which is good because I can just do that. Yeah, pay 2 in a black. Next turn I can either start attacking the Mutavaults to apply pressure or just start activating Tasigur. My opponent... I hope they're just saving time here. Yeah. If they found a counter spell for my Tasigur, I'd be a little peeved. Okay, well, they probably found another threat, or they just want me to use mana so I can't activate Tasigur, but I'm just going to get to attack Mutavault and Fatal Push their Goyf. So I can get a tapped land into play, or I can play a second Mutavault in case I want to double attack next turn. But getting this land into play is better if I draw a Cryptic Command, or if I draw a 3-mana spell, which I really don't have any of. And just getting Mutavault's better. I'm assuming my opponent's playing another threat, So I'm likely to just be activating Tasker next turn. So I'm just going to go for the Darkslick Shores. Mush for 6. This could be either a Fatal Push or once again trying to save time. Definitely not a Fatal Push. And our opponent is a Sultai Delirium deck. Seen some of these floating around. Another Tarmogoyf. Oh man, we did draw Cryptic Command too. Sure, let's play Mutavault, and I guess we can pass. We're still in fine shape here. We're ahead in the race. Our opponent can't really attack. We have a Cryptic. We're getting value from our mana by activating Cassicker. This would be a strange attack. Strange indeed. I can activate the Unsick Mutavault and double block and essentially trade Tassiger for Tarmogoyf, and then have 2 Mutavaults and Cryptic Command against my opponent's 1 card. But it's awkward for me to try to attack Mutavaults and hold a Cryptic. I'd have to draw a land next turn. Otherwise, I'm sort of sitting here not doing much. If my opponent sniffs out the Cryptic, they can play Draw Go with me. Alternatively, I could take 5 and just activate Tassiger on end step and maybe try to race. I kind of think that's better. I have a feeling if my opponent's... I was going to say, if my opponent wanted to race there, I would think they have something, so I'm just going to get to Cryptic them, but I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what's going on right now. Maybe they're letting me tap out and they have a removal spell for Tassiger. Good chance I just get Inquisition. But no. Well, they didn't give me Inquisition back, so they have to have a spell in their hand. I do think I want to play this, even though it takes me off of Cryptic. I still have Spell Snare for a lot of their good cards. Ugh. Thought Scour is awkward, as are both of those cards. I think I'm just going to bottom that Thought Scour and top the Snapcaster, because it just flashes back Fatal Push, and I'm going to attack for 6 and leave up both my single blue spells. This is a little risky. Maybe I've bungled this game a little. Oh. Yeah, oh man. I've definitely bungled this game because I knew they had that Fatal Push from forever ago, so... Man. Whatever. Well, we'll move on. Now it looks like our opponent's winning the race, but we're still in fine shape because we have the Snapcaster on top of our deck. Oh man, I gotta tighten up in these videos. So hard to talk about everything you're trying to think about. Okay. I'm gonna cast targeting my opponent so I don't mill over the Snapcaster. Mill 2 lands, whatever. And I'm just gonna do this main phase. Not sure if my opponent has counter spells. I doubt it, but not much downside in just doing it now. Fatal Push your thing. That thing. The thing with the things. And now. Hopefully they don't draw Traverse. They could Traverse for like Ishkana. But that's fine. If they just Traverse for a bunch of blockers, we have Cryptic Command, so I'm not too concerned. Yeah, and just didn't find anything. So a little bit loose that game, but we were pretty far ahead. And this is a weird deck to play against. Bitter Blossom might be good against them. We're sort of trying to be grindy. I definitely want Niles Bubble. That one's easy. Very easy. I don't think I want Domination. I think I'm going to take the more aggressive role here. I could put in Threads to deal with Goyfs, but I assume... One, I assume there are Decays lurking. Two, I assume my opponent has some bigger creatures that I want to answer. But Threads has the potential to be very good. I like the idea of Vanillion Click. I think my opponent's going to be traversing for some big things. So holding up my counter spells and having something else to do that's relevant is a nice option. Huh. I think what I want... the question is actually what I want to cut. And if I want to add these Bitter Blossoms. I think I want... maybe I want to cut some discard. Because we're going to be pretty attrition-y. That makes sense to me. And I think Thoughtseize is going to be pretty good. Even though we haven't seen much. I think those decks play some big spells that I want to Thoughtseize. Do I want to be 2-1 the other way? This is such a tiny decision. Most of the time I'm taking a small thing anyway, but I'll leave in 1 Thoughtseize. Kind of a hedgy deal. The other question is if I want to maybe play fewer removal spells. I don't really want this Dismember. I think these are fine. I could conceivably play a Threads over a Fatal Push maybe, just to give my deck a little more power. It seems fine to try. Bitter Blossom's cool, but I don't really have enough counter spells for me to really want it, with only 7 counter spells. Sure, let's try that. I don't get to Threads of Disloyalty Jace Vryn's Prodigy. My opponent has that one. That's a mark, and it's against these Sultai Delirium decks I generally see have Jace VP. Oh man, this is an awkward hand. But it's not that awkward. Liliana is definitely good in this matchup. I get to play a threat early. And if I just draw a discard spell or a Serum Visions or even a Thought Scour, this hand's really good. So I think I'm going to keep this one. Opponent mulliganed. That's also good, especially when we're on a Liliana hand. They kept their 6 and scry to the top. Okay, well, they're definitely trying hard to get Delirium. I assume they targeted themselves. Oh no, targeting me. I guess if they don't have a fetch land. So they know I have a Darkslick Shores. Little do they know I have many Darkslick Shores. Got our Delver down. Would not be surprised to see this eat a removal spell. If I brick again, I might just run out Snapcaster as a 2-1, depending upon what my opponent does. Underappreciated mode. The old Ambush Viper. Well, that makes me... yeah, definitely. I don't think I'm going to run out Snapcaster now. Ooh, Remand. Well, yes, I would like to reveal that. And flip my thing. Perfect. Remand was a great draw. Let's see if my opponent wants to play a spell into it or just pass the turn. Well, they want to play Traverse. I could Remand to this just to cycle my Remand, but I'm not. I don't think that's worth it. If they just have a land, another 2-drop, I look really foolish. And that's so easy for them to have here. Plus, I want to guarantee that this Liliana can tag this Tarmogoyf. This is an odd 2-3 Tarmogoyf. Artifact and Sorcery. Seems like they might have just remembered the Remand I showed them last turn. The thing about playing against Remand, though, is it's kind of tough to sit there and wait. Well, now I look really foolish. Could have remanded the Traverse. Yeah. But at least my Liliana... No attack is weird. Feels like a misclick. But I am going to just run out of Snapcaster. Because we're about to tag this Goyf. Continue the pressure. Get to play Tasker next turn. Maybe hold up Remand. I don't know. We can do so many things. Opponent is on 4 card types right now, so we did give them Delirium, but... Ah, Tilt. Ooh, well that's a good one. That is a very good one. Sort of an awkward one. So if I want to play Tasker this turn, I can't leave up the Nile Spellbomb. And then my opponent can -2 Liliana and get back the Tarmogoyf. I could aggressively Spellbomb them here, hoping to draw a land. And then I can play Tasker. But if I don't draw the land, I'm in kind of rough shape. Awkwardly, I think I want to discard the Snapcaster Mage. If I plus Liliana. I like the Tar Pit. Although I am cantripping a bit. So maybe I want to get rid of the land. Excuse me. It's an interesting spot. I think I want to stop this Liliana from getting a lot of value. So I like the idea of playing the Spellbomb here. I also need to stop the Liliana from getting to 7. Tar Pit does a good job there. So why don't we discard the Snapcaster, play Spellbomb, and hold up Remand? Makes sense to me. Man, that Decay was really good. And then they didn't hit another land. If I Remand the Traverse, I'm in absurdly good shape. Man. Getting punished. So hard to do that. It's so easy for the Traverse to be bait. They just want a 4th land or are pretty far away from Delirium. Yep. Just passing the turn. Okay. Well, that's pretty nice. I get to discard this Delta to Liliana, then play Tassiger holding up Remand. So let's do that. Oh. Interesting. I guess Ishkana's not good because I have now Spellbomb. Okay, less interesting. Less interesting indeed. Tassiger. Ooh, not even an attempt to kill my Tassiger on end step when they know I have Remand. That's a great sign. They don't have a lot of... If they have Decay and Push in their deck, it's going to be tough for them to kill Tassiger. Be like Dismember, go for the throw, Maelstrom Pulse, like that kind of things to deal with it. I kind of want to cycle this Remand, but that Jace also just isn't a big deal. I can just minus my Liliana. I'm a little surprised they wouldn't Jace before activating their Liliana, because if I Remand, then they can safely -2. But maybe getting back Tarmogoyf is not a big issue, or not a big prize when I have Spellbomb. With them short on mana, I think the Remand is actually good, so I'm just going to let that Jace resolve. And now I can -2. Got to be a long road to to get this Liliana down, but the entire time we're going to have our own Liliana, and I think we'll be doing pretty well. We're going to start activating this Tassiger. And eventually our opponent will draw some lands, and they won't have as many spells. Well, now I'm definitely going to use the Spell Bomb. They can't really Snapcast or anything good in response. If they want to Snapcast Decay on the Liliana, go for it. They don't even have the mana for that. Let's pay black. Not sure what their plan is here, but yeah, I guess that they do still get to see if they hit off the top two. That's kind of cute. They also stop me from activating Tassiger. Could potentially not use the Thought Scour there to make my Tasker activations better, but that seems kind of weak. I could Inquisition here and then plus discarding Mutavault. That seems fine. I already have 2 creature lands, even though the Mutavault's more mana efficient. I would like to know what's up. Well, that's what's up. Our opponent has 3 4-mana spells in their hand, so this Remand is going to be good. Archmage, Thrun, and Garruk. I guess the Thrun gets the Remand, but it also matches up poorly against Tassiger, so, and against Liliana. So yeah, let's embarrassingly let our thing fizzle. Trade our Mutavault for... Huh? Maybe the Thrun seems like the worst one just because I have Liliana, but I also have Remand, so it's tough for them regardless. Okay. Yeah. Get this Liliana down. And we are in firm control of this game now. And they finally hit their 4th land. Which one do you play? I'm not even sure I Remand Garruk here. I can just activate Tasker on end step, untap Liliana away the last card in their hand, use Tar Pit to attack the Garruk, and then have the 4/5 to block their 2/2. I mean, I kind of want to cycle this Remand, but yeah, I mean, I guess there's no point in just not getting really far ahead. Okay, our opponent just concedes. At that point, I mean, trying to find the absolute best play when you're that far ahead is sort of a exercise in frivolity. That doesn't sound like the right word. I don't know. It's frivolous, but so frivolity sounds like the right word, but it doesn't feel right. There's probably a better one. Regardless, against a sort of Jundi type deck, we're able to get underneath them. They had a few mana issues in game 2, but we're able to get out ahead, resolve important threats, protect those threats, or at least play more of them. Liliana was great. Saw Fatal Push is really good. I don't really see what the 3rd color would bring. It's pretty easy to splash, I guess, but the creature lands were also good, and I certainly like having them. These creature lands are really sweet. So I hope you enjoyed me bashing some face with some Delver secrets, and you can come back and see me on Friday.